I know the Eastern minds have also absorbed this in a horribly distorted way, but right now if you told your friend or your relative, I'm going to the ashram for 3 days, they would become very kind towards you and ask, why, what went wrong? Something must be wrong with your life. You're going to the ashram to heal a wound, to solace yourself. Something must be really wrong with your life, or you must be too old for life. Otherwise, why would you go to an ashram? So this has crept into this culture also. Essentially, if you're alive only in parts, or if you're partially alive, to be partially alive is a terrible torture. Many of you have been through these science classes. I'm sure you opened up frogs and cockroaches, did you? They were nice, lively beings, but you opened them up because you wanted to find their heart and liver and kidney. Half alive. Being half alive is torture. Have you seen this? Always being half alive is torture. This is the torture that a large segment of humanity is going through right now because they are half alive. Only one part of them has become alive. Only their physicality and mentality has become alive. The rest of it is yet to become alive. Half-alive people will suffer everything. They will suffer ignorance, they will suffer education, they will suffer poverty, they will suffer affluence, they will suffer being alone, they will suffer being in a relationship. If they are not married, they suffer. If they're married, if they don't have children, they suffer that. As if children, if they are there, they can come and bite you. They do. No children, what are you suffering? But that also they suffer. Just show me one thing that human beings are not suffering right now. Just show me one aspect of life that human beings are not suffering right now. They're suffering just about anything, not just life. They're even suffering death before it happens. He's thinking of building a pyramid for himself. That which is and that which is not, everything they suffer. This is not… You are not suffering loneliness, you are not suffering company, you are not suffering money, you are not suffering poverty. What you're suffering is, you are half alive. You're desperately trying to make yourself fully alive through money, through drink, through sex, through going on a trek, coming to the ashram. In so many ways, you're somehow trying to make yourself fully alive, which is yet to happen fully. Here and there you feel a burst of aliveness, but again it ebbs down. So, when people are constantly half alive, pleasure becomes an important part of your life, very important part of your life. Without it, you cannot exist. Pleasure becomes paramount in your life when you're only half alive, when physicality is all that you know. Pleasure becomes of immense importance in your life. If you become fully alive, you will become so blissful, joyful, ecstatic without reason, bursts of ecstasy within you without any reason. It's almost embarrassing. Now, the thought of pleasure just evaporates. Looking for a drink, looking for some kind of pleasurable thing just evaporates out of your mind because you're fully alive. When you're fully alive, pleasure disappears. When you're half dead, pleasure is an important thing.
What is pleasure? What is bliss? How do we navigate the intricate dance between these two experiences, and how can we transcend the transient to embrace the eternal? Dear seekers, pleasure is something we all seek in our everyday lives. It comes from sensory experiences, the taste of delicious food, the touch of a loved one, the thrill of achieving a goal. Pleasure is fleeting, it is momentary, and it is dependent on external circumstances. It is like a firework which is dazzling and bright, but soon it fades away, leaving you longing for more. When you eat a piece of chocolate, there is pleasure. It delights your taste buds, but the moment it is gone, the pleasure dissipates, leaving you wanting another piece and another. While bliss, on the other hand, is not dependent on the external. It arises from within. It arises from a state of being that is beyond the sensory. Bliss is like the steady glow of a candle flame, which is unwavering and serene. It is the joy of being. It is the profound contentment that comes from connecting with our divine, conscious nature. It is the peace we feel when we sit in silence, fully present, fully aware, without any need for external validation. Now the question arises as to how can we transcend pleasure and experience the immortal bliss. To transcend pleasure and experience the incredible bliss of your true nature, you must first recognize the fundamental differences between them. Remember, pleasure is tied to desire and attachment. When you seek pleasure, you are caught in a cycle of craving and aversion. You want to repeat pleasurable experiences and avoid painful ones. Now, this cycle keeps you trapped in a never-ending pursuit. And this is the reason why you always keep looking outside yourself for fulfillment. While bliss, on the other hand, is found when we let go of this cycle. It is found in the present moment. It is found in the acceptance of what is. When you stop seeking pleasure and start living in awareness, you begin to tap into a deeper source of joy. Now, meditation is the key to this transformation. When you meditate, you turn your attention inward, quieting the mind and opening the heart. In this space of stillness, you discover the bliss that is your true nature. Now consider a child playing in the garden who is absorbed in the moment, not seeking anything, just being. This is a glimpse of bliss, dear seekers. The child is not concerned with the past or the future, with gaining or losing. There is only the pure joy of being. As adults, we can reconnect with this state through mindfulness and meditation, by being present and letting go of our attachments to pleasure. The path to bliss is not about renouncing the pleasures of life, but about understanding their impermanent nature and not becoming attached to them. Enjoy the taste of the chocolate, but do not let your happiness depend on it. Appreciate the warmth of a hug, but know that your peace does not come from it. When you transcend pleasure, you do not become joyless. You become truly joyful. You discover a joy that is not dependent on anything external, a joy which is unshakable. This is bliss, dear seekers. It is the natural state of your being, waiting to be uncovered beneath the layers of desire and attachment. So, my dear seekers, recognize the difference between pleasure and bliss. Embrace the transient pleasures of life with gratitude, but do not be enslaved by them. Turn inward, meditate, and find the eternal bliss that resides within you. This is the true journey. This is the journey from pleasure to bliss, from the fleeting to the everlasting, from the surface to the depth of your being.